What up, though? Good morning and welcome to another episode of AM Opinionated. It's your man, goes by many names, monikers, and one appellation this morning. Call me Momoa Muata and Bonisi. So, Habari Gani. And today's principle of Kwanzaa is Nia, purpose. To make it our collective vocation, the building and developing of our community in order to restore our people to their traditional greatness. I'm going to say it again. Nia, purpose. The building and developing, that's not it. To make our collective vocation. Vocation. Vocation is the key word, is one of the key words in that. To make it our collective vocation. What does vocation mean? To make it our business. To make it our job. To make it our responsibility. There's that word responsibility that goes back to collective work and responsibility. You know, that goes back to Ujima. So again, all of these Nguzo, all of these principles are standing on each other, helping to create this great structure that is the Nguzo Saba. And Nia is an important part of that. So to make it our collective vocation, to make it our collective business, to make it everybody's business. Now, it can't be, everybody can't be with it if you're not with it individually. You can't be with it, you can't be with it wholly if you're not with it individually. So, you have a lot of conscious or so-called conscious people that will come and say, where you at? What's your location? Where you at? They don't mean it in the social media platform way of, WYA. I don't care where your physical location is. We're asking you, where are you at? Do you understand this? Do you understand that? What is your perspective and your view of this? What is your perspective and view of that? And the reason why that's asked is we need to see if we have the same goals in mind, to see where we can work together, because a lot of times we got the same goal, got the same purpose. We got different visions on how to get there, right? So to make it our collective vocation, the building and developing of our community in order to restore our people to their traditional greatness. Now, therein lies another point that is one of the more difficult things, right? One of the first things that has to be done is we have to convince the people that they have a historical and traditional greatness. There's a lot of Black people, unfortunately, who hate themselves, and because of the hatred they have for themselves, they hate other Black people. There really is no reason for someone to just have and it's not inherent, but a seemingly inherent hatred. It's like, oh, I just hate Black people, and you Black. Why? There's a psychological reason for it. There's a psychological reason why there are some Black women who feel like they don't need a man or a Black man. There's a reason for that. There's a psychological reason why I'm not gonna say a lot, why some Black men prefer white women. There's a reason for that. There's a psychological reason for that. And so without understanding your historical, cultural, and traditional greatness, you know, you are going to hate yourself and thus hate everything that looks like you. You know, again, going back to the story I told on the live when we were doing the motorcade the first day of Kwanzaa, about the brother that came with the imaginary, I don't know what he had. I don't know if he had an imaginary AK, an imaginary Draco, and he had an imaginary something that shot a lot of bullets with rapidity. And he shot it at all of the cars that had the red, black, and green flags on. You know, black dude hated us. Why? Because he saw himself in us and he didn't like himself. So his reflection of hatred of himself bounced on to us, right? So that's one of the first things that needs to be understood and tackled, and which goes back to re-education. You know, one of the reasons why some black people don't like themselves or even hate themselves and thus hate what looks like them is because they've been miseducated, you know. And so we have to re-educate ourselves to replant what has been usurped. So we have been, and by we I mean people of African descent, have been usurped out of the significant portions of history. Right? We've been usurped out of the significant things in human past. Right? So as a result of that, our memories have almost been wiped clean of the things that our people have accomplished and can accomplish even greater. You know, everyone's people have made contributions to this human race, right? So when I say black people, I'm not talking about a race of people. You know what I'm saying? There's one race. Scientifically, there's one race, that is the human race, right? When I'm talking about black, I'm talking about culture. When I'm talking about black, I'm talking about tradition, you know. So that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about black. I know that there is no race of black people, you know. There's a culture of black people, you know, and that culture goes back further than any other culture, you know, and that is just human fact. So if you don't understand that your people come from traditional greatness because you've been told and you've been shown all of these images that don't reflect that, then you'll never know. I run across youth every day that's like, I did not know that. I did not know that. And the main thing that I hear is they don't teach us that in school. They don't teach us that in school. I know they don't, because they didn't teach us that in school when I went to school, right? And then you get images on your TV like the Dukes of Hazzard, Knight Rider, Tarzan. You know, you get all these images on your screen and you looking at it and you like, huh? So that's what it is, you know. That's why I'm so glad that there are nowadays so many more black animators, movie makers. You know, I may not I understand the intention. You know, I understand what you're trying to say, but a lot of times I even understand that when you turn in your script, if you are going through one of the major movie companies, they get it and rape it, you know, because that's what they have historically done. They got something that Black people have put forth and whitewashed it. Period. Um, so that being the case, we're talking about NIA purpose to make our collective vocation the building and developing of our community in order to restore our people to their traditional greatness. Now, one of the things that NIA encompasses is the collectiveness that comes from the individual purpose, right? So one of the things that I'd always said, I'm like, I just don't want to die a purposeless Negro. That's my thing. I don't want to die purposeless. It was like, when I die, I want everyone to have a very clear understanding, not because I said it, but because I showed it. It's like, he may have never said what his purpose was to everybody, but it had to be this, because this is what he was doing. You know, I've said it to people. So it's like, people know my purpose. People know what I believe. And when I say purpose, I mean one of many purposes. I believe that everyone has at least a purpose. At least one. Everyone, there's a reason why you're here. You know, there's a reason why. Now, here's the problem that, in my opinion, people tend to run into when they are searching for their purpose. Everyone thinks that they have a monumental purpose, right? Everybody thinks their purpose is supposed to be like Malcolm or Martin or Huey or Karinga or you know what I'm saying, some grandiose purpose, you know, like I'm gonna write the 13th Amendment. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to swim the English Channel. I'm going to create a nation of blonde hair, blue-eyed people. I'm going to eliminate a whole other race of people. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter how positive or negative your purpose seems, you know, like I've named positive purposes and I've named negative purposes. And the 13th Amendment, you know what I'm saying, kind of straddles that fence depending on your understanding of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was great. And then it was like, hold on, why'd you put that part in there? If we free, then we free. Why are you know, putting addendums to the end of it, you know? And then anyway, that's a whole nother it's a whole nother podcast. Anyway, so now in regards to your purpose may not be some grandiose purpose. You know, your purpose may be you know, your purpose may be raising your children correctly so that they can fulfill their grandiose purpose. How about that? How about you being a good mother to your children, a good wife to your husband, a good husband to your wife, and a good father to your children? You know, what if the purpose that you're here to fulfill is to direct someone else to their grandiose purpose? Now that takes some selflessness. If you understood that, if you understand your purpose is not grandiose, but your purpose is to birth the one who has the grandiose purpose, or to rear. You may not birth them. You may just be the influence for them when they are developing their grandiose purpose, you know? So I don't know. If you encourage a child's purpose, they'll, you know, they'll develop it on their own. You don't have to direct them. And a lot of times that's what I see a lot of adults doing. Adults do one of a few things to their kids, right? That I've noticed and witnessed. One being they will push their unfulfilled dreams, aspirations, and purposes onto their children, either because they could not or did not accomplish them. And so they'll push them off on their kids. Well, that was your purpose. That wasn't your child's purpose. That wasn't your baby purpose. Why are you pushing your purpose off on them? They got a whole, when they came into this being, right? They had a whole different purpose to fulfill that was all their own and had nothing to do with your purpose. Why are you trying to push your purpose off on your baby because you didn't do it? You still got time. Purpose don't have a statute of limitations. There is no sunset clause. You can work on your purpose to fulfill your purpose till the day you die. You don't have to stop. So that's one of the things that adults do is adults will push their unfulfilled dreams, ambitions, and purpose onto another generation, onto their kids, instead of encouraging and enlightening. Let me flip that. Enlightening and encouraging the child or children to fulfill their own purpose. It's like when you are a child, you are literally learning everything in the world. Like as a kid, you don't know through ignorance. You just got here. You've been on this planet for 13 years. You don't really know a lot yet. So you don't know that that Beyonce is singing Frankie Beverly's song. Like I swore. All I do is think of you. I swore that Troop was the first group to sing that song. I swore it. I was like, Troop, that's Troop song. Anybody else sang that song with Troop? No, that's the only group I'd ever heard sing that song. It had been done before. So as a kid, you don't know what you don't know. As a person, you don't know what you don't know. Adults, we don't know what we don't know, and it's not until someone who is a bit more enlightened in that particular area than you are brings it to your attention that it even sparks a flame. A light bulb will go off, all your little filaments will get to burning, and then you like, oh man, you've just been enlightened. So once you have been enlightened, now you have a light to guide your way, right? And so you go. Now, another thing we do, I don't know why I keep saying we, another thing that adults do to children is make them feel like no matter how far ahead of the game or even par for the game of life they actually are, for some reason adults is always making children feel like they are behind, like they got catching up to do. No, the mistakes that you're making right now, this is the time for you to make them. You right on track. You are right on track. Oh, you don't know senior in high school what your purpose is in life yet? Oh, you don't know, sophomore in college, what you want to do with the rest of your life? You right on track. I'm not saying that there are not 13-year-olds right now who know what their purpose is and know what they're going to do with the rest of their lives. And there's 35-year-olds who still haven't figured it out yet. That is not a negative or positive on either one, because we are all on different levels and different stages of understanding within a given point in time, right? That's just it. We all receive what we are going to receive when we are supposed to receive it. So if you're 13 and you figured it out, you got an old ass soul that helped you out, you know. And if you 35 and you ain't figured it out yet, and there's a reason for that too. What have you gone through in your life that has hindered your growth and development, you know, to where you have not thought about, you haven't pondered your purpose enough? Maybe it's the fact that you think that you're supposed to have this big grandiose purpose, you know, and that your purpose may be to ensure the health, safety, and welfare of one individual, child, adult, mate, whatever. You know, your wife might be the one with the purpose that is the great purpose, you know, and you need to, your purpose is to make sure that she fulfills her purpose, you know. So your purpose is to make her happy. That's your purpose, you know. Everybody doesn't have to have a uh revolutionary purpose in life to have a purpose, you know. Your purpose could be to encourage a child. Your purpose could be to help children who can't read to read, you know, to help children who don't think that they can be mentally and physically strong to be both, you know. That could be your purpose, you know. um so what have we gone over as far as the, so we're going over the mkk. What have we not gone over? uh the mazao are the crops, the fruits. So that, along with, so mazao actually goes with, well, they all go with each other. All of the things that are embedded within Kwanzaa go with so many of the different principles of Kwanzaa, you know, because a lot of times with purpose, you struggle fulfilling your purpose. You know, you have to plant the seeds and wait for the harvest. Well, for some people, the waiting for the harvest is the hardest part. You know, a lot of times we feel like we are supposed to see instant and immediate results. I planted today, I need to see something next week. Okay, maybe next month. It didn't happen next month, it ain't gonna happen. And we quit, you know. But just like when you plant your crops, when you plant your fruits, when you plant your vegetables, you're not going to see them grow overnight. It takes time. You know, it takes a competent gardener to understand, you know, the situation that's going to allow your crops to grow to where when it's time for harvest, you have a plentiful harvest, you know. But how many gardeners, or how many farmers, or how many people that plant things, whatever these things are, uh uh plant seeds in the ground, seeds in the minds of children? It doesn't matter. Whatever it is that you plant, right? What makes you think that it's going to start to take and fertilize and grow uh overnight? Especially if you're dealing with complicated soil, you know. What if the ground that you're trying to plant on is frozen? What if the ground that you're trying to plant on is infected? You know, again, I mean, what if the physical ground is frozen or infected, or the mental ground is frozen or infected? You got to do something about it. You know, there's tending that needs to be done before you can plant the seed to get the crops during the harvest. Um, what else? What am I missing? Oh, so one of the other things about Kwanzaa is a lot of time, pretty much during the opening ceremonies of Kwanzaa, the pledge to the red, black, and green is done, you know, and so I don't know if I went over. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I did go over Marcus Garvey and his wife uh, during August, but if not, I'll probably do it again in February. Um, so there's a pledge to the red, black, and green flag called "This Flag of Mine," right? And so it's read during Kwanzaa celebrations as well. Um, but I want to go back real quick to yesterday. Ujamaa, like I said, like Ujamaa is uh, cooperative economics. We talk that is of supreme importance when it comes to our purpose, because one of the things that I know about just a people in general, you know, whatever culture you come from, when you broke, it's a whole lot harder to focus when you broke, you know. When you got a little bit of money in your pocket, it's a lot easier to focus, you know. That's why I can't wait to become like financially wealthy, because I really want to see what this more money, more problems thing is all about, because I just can't see it. You know, from my perspective, I just can't see this. You got more money and more problems. Why? How? I don't get it. What? Like, um I know your cost of living goes up because you want to live uh in a nicer place, and so you know everything goes up, your taxes go up and everything goes up. I get that, but you got the money to do it. Like when unexpected emergencies come up, whether it's medical or whatever it is, like to poor people, these things are catastrophic. Uh, these things financially, it's difficult to bounce back from. Uh, Whereas when you got money, mere inconveniences. That's it. You know, I don't know. Is there such thing as a real financial emergency to the rich? Is that possible? I don't know. I can't wait to find out though. I'm ready to see what this more money, more problems thing is. But I realized that uh with cooperative economics, we can come into our collective responsibility within our collective purpose, right? So an individual purpose transforms or transitions, not really transforms, transitions into a collective purpose. You know, you find those who are like-minded within your purpose, you connect with them, and now you have a collective purpose. But the whole thing about Kwanzaa is it being a celebration of the community, right? So if it's a celebration of the community, uh, used to identify specific nguzo or specific principles. These principles are the things that bind us together, right? And they bind us together to help us widen our perspective, to help each individual gather their individual purpose so that they're better for the community, for the collective purpose. That's what it goes into. Our role in human history is too significant to not further our purpose and continue our purpose in this life. So your purpose might be to be a mentor. Mentors in the inner city are so needed, and they are critical. They are absolutely critical to the purposeful outcome of youth. I know this for a fact. I know this from personal experience as both things. I know this as personal experience from the youth that needed a mentor and being a mentor. You know, I know it from both sides. So with that, what time is it? Oh, wow. So with that, support and patronize small businesses. The coronavirus is killing far more than the human race. It is killing businesses and thus killing dreams, right? So if you are an entrepreneur or small business owner, salute to you keeping your business afloat, you know, and I get it. I understand. Yesterday was collective work. No, yesterday was cooperative economics. And so Buy Black KC was or should have been a site that everyone visited yesterday. Buy Black KC and all of the other sites of small businesses. There was 3 of them last night, and if I'd have been thinking, I'd have put them up on my screen. I'd have wrote them down last night so that I could put them up on my screen today. But one was a brother that's a barber here in Kansas City. One was a brother that that did he's like a life and safety coach. Like he teaches people CPR and first response type stuff. And another was a sister that was a realtor, I believe. She was a realtor. I'm a figure it out and get them on the screen. I'll look at Twitch, or just go to Twitch. You can see last night's episode of Kwanzaa and see exactly what I'm talking about. So it was on Twitch TV, NBuff KC Kwanzaa celebration for Ujamaa. What else? Oh, check me out tonight. The primetime episode of Notoriously Opinionated. I'm super excited about that. And I'm probably gonna be running ads all day talking about it. So check me out. I got some good guests tonight on Notoriously Opinionated. We have a returning guest and 2 guys I can't wait to talk to. 2 more guys I can't wait to talk to. So check us out on Notoriously Opinionated tonight. Myself and my co-host, Nguzo. I don't know why. Nguzo is just on my mind. Negus Kifaru, aka Hero. Shout out to all my guys that have been on the show. Shout out to everybody that supported me. You know, go to YouTube, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Notoriously Opinionated. We're trying to get 100 subs in 100. We're trying to get 1,000 subs in 2021, right? That's the goal for 2021. And be on the lookout. The merch is on the way. We about to break out and do the damn thing. You know, we definitely about to break out. So until next time, Check me out every morning, Monday through Friday, AM Opinionated, and every Wednesday for Notoriously Opinionated. Check out my podcast on Spotify, Areas of Human Activity. Subscribe to Areas of Human Activity on Spotify. And thank you for your continued support. I'm going to get out of here. Peace. Salute. I'm out.